hmm You know, I have been watching television lately. Yeah. hmm And I noticed the introduction of what is known as alcohol. Yes. Now, being a man and being an alcoholic, yes. I noticed that quite a few very super smart geniuses have been drinking beer while making their television shows. You know how masculine it is to drink beer. Now, I'm not against it. I realize that there are a lot of distilled products that are sold throughout the world. Yes, yes. And I know that these super smart scientists that all want to be Nobel Prize winners, that all their whole focus was is about, well, how am I going to get the Nobel Prize and how am I going to be recognized for being a super smart scientist? Seems like they're always sitting around drinking beer, telling themselves how stupid they are. Yeah. Now, I'm an alcoholic. Yes. I can't drink. And if you thought that ingesting 190 proof grain alcohol to 0.33% of your body weight, yes, was alcoholic, pooch. There is no actual, well, you pass out, yes. You end up burning up a lot of fat on your bladder, your liver, and your kidneys. It actually causes a fever to take place because of the availability of using alcohol for medicinal purposes. It's really not very fun, and you shouldn't do it unless you know what you're doing. Yeah. See, 190 proof grain alcohol is different than sitting around drinking beer. Yes, talking to each other about how important you are. It's the availability that even an alcoholic would not feel any compulsion to want to drink after the experience because of the amount of sweats that you would get, the nausea, yes, and how bad you feel the next day because of the toxic substances that you've been putting in the bodies of American citizens. So if you're an alcoholic, yes, don't drink beer. Don't drink any alcohol at all. Yes. And if ever you were to ingest any alcohol, it has to be 190 proof grain alcohol. And you can't just sip it as if it were moonshine. It's one shot exactly to 0.33% of your body weight. Yeah. Because I'll tell you, you will feel nauseated and you'll pass out. Pooch. That's why it's the idea of the introduction of the oxygen, yes, for 1 hour, and then helping you breathe because your body goes through a process called being very hot. And when you add oxygen to that process, it helps remove the toxicity of your individual person, yes, so that when you wake up, you smell how dead you were because of the products you've been eating. Mhm. So be very, very careful with the use of alcohol. And if you're an alcoholic, never drink any alcohol at all. But if you were to ingest alcohol as a medicine, you'll find that the smell of your bed after doing that kind of sweating, yes, would sweat out all the dog food you've been eating. Pooh! Now, the thought was, yes, that I'd like to use my own home remedies for the various toxic substances that you've been putting in the food supply. Yeah. And for every dog that wanted a little extra lead in their pencil, ooh, put a little lead in your pecker. You know, the thought of using anything that is not for sale, yes, as an actual food product, yes, is actually against the law. Now, this beer, um, I just wanted to know is not product placement. Yes, it's the normalization of the 94% of the population that is not problem drinkers. Yeah. Now, in some ways, I have to be very supportive of the concept of the cultural use of alcohol when visiting with one another. Yes. While playing board games or eating out all the time, because it seems like when you work for universities, yeah, as professors, you have such an abundance of money that you never cook for your fucking self.